If you've ever found yourself writing just clunky boilerplate code to compare two lists of data in JavaScript, you're going to want to see this. A huge upgrade is coming in ES 2025 with native set methods. And believe me, it's about to totally change how you handle collections. This is the math that JavaScript has been missing for years. I mean, think about it for a sec. Which users have access to two different features? What products are in a customer's cart, but, not on their wish list? These are the kinds of challenges we face every day as developers, and they all boil down to one thing: comparing collections, or more specifically, comparing sets. Come on, does this look familiar? I am willing to bet that almost every single JavaScript developer out there has written, or let's be real, copy-pasted from Stack Overflow, a line of code that looks just like this. And hey, it works, but it's clunky and it's definitely not easy to read at a glance. Well, I've got good news. This might be the last time you ever need to write it. So, before we jump into all the new goodies, let's do a super quick refresher on what a set even is. It's simple. A set is just a collection where every single value is unique. No duplicates allowed. This makes them absolutely perfect for things like user IDs or tags, where you just care if something is in the collection, not how many times it appears. These new methods didn't just appear out of thin air. They're actually part of a really clear pattern in how JavaScript has been evolving. Back in ES 2023, we got awesome new array methods. Then in ES 2024, the game-changing object group by. And now in ES 2025, sets are finally getting the same star treatment. The language is just getting more powerful and more expressive year after year. All right, let's get to the main event. It's time for a showdown. We're going to put the old manual way of wrangling sets head-to-head with these slick new native methods. Get ready to see just how much code you're about to delete for good. First up, let's talk about the union. In set theory, a union is really straightforward. You just combine two sets and get all the unique elements from both. Think of it like merging two different party guest lists into one big master list without any duplicate names. Okay, so the old way of doing this wasn't terrible, but just look at the difference in clarity. The new way, set1 union set2, it just reads like plain English. There's absolutely zero guesswork. Your code now says exactly what it's doing, which basically makes it self-documenting. So good. Next up, we have intersection. Now, this is kind of the opposite of a union. An intersection gives you only the elements that are present in both sets. It's all about finding that common ground, like finding out which friends you and someone else both know. And there it is. That's the clunky line of code from the beginning. And with ES 2025, it is now completely obsolete. It's been replaced by one single elegant method call, set1.intersectionSet2. This is just a massive, massive win for readability. Okay, let's move on to difference. This operation is for when you want to find all the elements that are in the first set but are not in the second one. It's super useful for finding out what's unique to one group when you compare it to another. And here we go again, replacing another manual filter. But this time, we're getting rid of that sneaky little exclamation mark in the logic, the one that's so easy to miss in a code review. Instead, we have a crystal clear method name, set1.differenceOfSet2. No ambiguity, no confusion, just clean code. Now for a concept that's a little more advanced, but really powerful, the symmetric difference. This one gives you all the elements that are in one set or the other, but, and this is the key part, not in both. It's kind of like taking the union of two sets and then just carving out their intersection. Oh man, trying to implement this manually before was a total pain. You usually had to calculate two separate differences and then stitch them together. But now, it's just one method, set1.symmetricDifferenceSet2. It takes what was once a complex task and makes it completely trivial. So, those are the core math operations. But the good news is, ES 2025 doesn't stop there. It also gives us some awesome utility methods that answer really common practical questions. So let's move away from theory and see how this stuff looks in some real-world code. Okay, so imagine you've got two sets of users. One set has all the managers in your company, and the other has all the employees. This is a classic, everyday scenario for managing permissions or roles inside an application. So here's the crucial question you need to answer. Is every single person in that manager set also in the all employees set? In other words, is the manager set a subset of the all employees set. The old way had you jumping through hoops. You had to convert the set to an array first, then use the every method. I mean, it gets the job done. But the new way? Managers dot is subset of all employees. It's just so direct. The code reads exactly like the question we were trying to ask in the first place. Let's do another quick example. Here we've got two different development teams, a front-end team and a back-end team, and each one is represented by a set of names. Now, a common thing you might need to check is there any overlap between these two teams? Does anyone actually work on both front-end and back-end? In the language of sets, what we're really asking is if these two sets are disjoint. And you guessed it, there's a new method for that. It's called isDisjointFrom, and it simply returns true if there's no overlap at all. This is way more expressive than the old way where you'd have to calculate an intersection and then check if its size was 0. This is just so much cleaner. Okay, so we've seen all these awesome new methods. Let's zoom out for a second and ask the big question. Why does any of this really matter? Well, it's about writing code that is fundamentally better. It's cleaner, it's faster, and it's way more expressive of what you're actually trying to do. I mean, think about it. Your code instantly becomes more readable because the method names tell you exactly what's happening. It's more efficient because these are native implementations, totally optimized under the hood. You're writing way less boilerplate, which means there are fewer places for bugs to hide. And, maybe most importantly, your code becomes more declarative. You're describing what you want to accomplish, not the tedious step-by-step process of how to do it. At the end of the day, these new methods are so much more than just a minor convenience. They're a fundamental upgrade to the JavaScript language itself, giving us cleaner, more powerful ways to solve problems. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that set math is this easy, what complex data wrangling challenges can you finally go out and solve with elegance and ease? Thanks for tuning in.